That's it. Let's go. Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. You're watching Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. I'm your co-host, Eric Berger. With me, as always, Charlie Moffitt in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
All right, let me introduce our special guest this evening. We've got Ian and Amy from My Cowboys Family. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find you at, and we'll get the show going.
Let's roll.
So first of all, thanks, Eric. Thanks, Charlie, for having us on. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, pretty much all social media at My Cowboys Family. We have a Discord as well. It's pretty active, I would say. So if you want to kind of hop in there as well, but mainly Twitter and YouTube. Obviously,
YouTube is
like the
base.
number one thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a huge following. I was impressed. I went and watched a few shows, or I listened to a few shows, right? Because y'all are mostly audio, right? And great stuff.
We used to be everyday video, so we kind of morphed into like back and forth a little bit. So seeing our reactions when you go on camera, for the game.
This is off topic, but y'all use Streamlabs, right?
Yes, we do.
Then one day you're going to have to get with us and teach us how to use that shit.
Good luck. It's been a
rough.
journey, and we pretty much every single day, it's kind of a new learning experience. Is the easiest way we can put it. So
another adjustment.
When we started this, we was going to use something like that. And when we started looking at it, we're like, oh, fuck no. This is way too high tech for us. And,
we're way behind the
Marcus.
behind the
He's the
times.
one who's like, hey, Streamlabs. I mean, he's StreamYard. He said it's streaming for dummies. And I said,
It's easy.
We're dummies, so let's do this.
I use both, but yeah, this Streamlabs is hectic. Every day it's another adjustment, so I feel you.
Yeah, and then so since then, last month we said let's upgrade. And we started watching videos on it again, thinking, okay, maybe we'll learn it better this time. And we both like, yeah, let's just wait till the end of the season. We'll do this shit at the end of the season. Because we don't want to try to start new shit right now and be running into technical difficulties, during the season and stuff. So
I know we'll look like the Dallas Cowboys last year trying to do their Zoom.
We'll be all lost and shit. Yes.
So we've got some topics lined up for you guys. It's basically been the same show with different cats every week for the past few weeks. We're trying to get everybody's opinion on, training camp and hard knocks and stuff. But first, we do have some news with the PC today. And I noticed you guys, I went and checked the channel real quick. I noticed you guys already had something up, a reaction to that. I want to get your thoughts on, what you guys pulled away from that.
So, I mean, again, I had to, listen to Mr. MCF's reaction here as well today. And honestly, I was actually really surprised. One of the biggest things, at least for me, and again, you guys that are kind of like real old school, long-term fans here too, this is kind of newer behavior from Jerry Jones. He tends to be emotional. He tends to ramble, but, it seems like this past years, he took it a little bit more personally. And I think that he takes it personally when he hears people say that, oh, the Cowboys aren't doing everything to win, when he feels like, no, like I'm doing everything that I can do. So, appreciate kind of the more honest new take here.
Well,
but we kind of, I'm still kind of want to see it out there on the field, just because, Jerry's talked a lot of talk a lot of times, and these might be crocodile tears, is all I'll say.
I think his emotion is real behind it. I think he's scared of the end of the road of.
I think so too. It's coming. Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of it. But I also think that if he's truly meaning what he says, when he says, I'm trying everything to win, then where's our pure GM?
Well, he's got Steven there cutting the check.
Where's some of that? Where's some of that? Those safeties you need and all that stuff you talk about. You're always looking, but you're not doing, right? So there's more they can do. There's more he can do if he wanted to really win. His heart's in it, but I still say it's a little bit of the usual Jerry Jones, along with a little bit of new stuff, a couple tears. That's
how
good.
About the what's your reaction to him admitting he fucked up the
I love that
Jimmy Johnson thing? That was shit.
Yeah, that's the first step of maybe Jerry Jones, like at least mentally.
He might have added a couple years to his life, letting that off his chest.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think that is really the first step of him kind of self-awareness of his big fuck up. All right, that's what it is. And I said that the day it happened. I remember seeing it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? How could this happen? We could have had 4 in a row, maybe 5. Who knows?
No.
Jerry Jones looks back now, like Michael Irvin said. It's not like taking candy out of a bowl. You got to earn. You got to fight for it every second. Before the season starts, you got to be all in. You just can't say, I want it and I want to buy one. It ain't going to happen.
I'm sorry, I disagree. I feel like Jerry just folded up a dollar bill really cleverly to make us think it was 100 because he's apologizing and he's saying, oh, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I messed up. but Jimmy's still not in the Ring of Honor. Like it just, you can say Jerry can say what he wants to say, but his actions still have yet to kind of back him up. And you guys are saying it, this is kind of the first step, but it feels like Jerry's had a lot of first steps, a lot of awakenings and realizations, and we have not seen the follow through when it comes to the action. So like you said, Jerry might feel a certain way, but he won't take the action of actually bringing in a GM that can do the job. He at least is finally conceding that there might be a coach out there, that can do the job a little better than Garrett.
Yeah, well, finally, after 9.5 years.
That's not tough.
I think he does feel like he's doing everything he can.
I think he does too.
He makes mistakes.
Feels like it.
Everything he does is the right thing to do, and I think that's been a problem for 25 fucking years now.
And it's literally been a few hours since this press conference. Let's give him a little bit of time. Maybe that was the first domino of something like that, like you're talking about. Maybe he starts taking things seriously a little bit and relinquishing that GM title, something like that. But baby steps. I think that was a huge, huge thing coming from him. As prideful as that family is, I mean, that was a big step in my opinion.
Right. Just the fact that he went that route, even if he's snail's pacing it, that's still rare from him for him to do.
Something shifted, maybe it was COVID. Maybe I think he actually said it himself. I might be misquoting him, but didn't he say, things will never be the same. We can only move forward from here. It's something similar to that, where basically, there is no going back to how football used to be before. It's, we're going to feel the changes from this past year in the future. And it seems like Jerry's kind of on board with change now for once, maybe.
He has no choice, but yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Let's run through the chat real quick and say what's up to everybody. We've got a new sub, I believe, and Andrew Langford. Appreciate you. Or Lunsford, that might be one of y'all's guys maybe coming over. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you showing up. My Cowboys wife's in here. Riker moving the chains. What's up? Mendoza, regular. Appreciate you, my guy. Scoot Life is in the house. James Gary's got some great comments here rolling through. I want to get his last one up there. These apologies are calculated, he says. That's an interesting take. It's the timing. It's the timing that people aren't questioning. That's an interesting take. Y'all's thoughts?
Exactly the comment you're highlighting there by Victor Robles. It's all publicity hype for Hard Knocks. Again, this could be part of, I don't want to say the storyline, but we could be seeing again the Jerry Jones redemption, where Jerry admits to all the wrongs he's done before, and now we're seeing the brand new Dallas Cowboys cleanse their sins, and we're, that's it, we're ready to go, and we're ready for that ring. And I think we're all here to say we're ready for that ring, but I don't know if Jerry is coming at it from a genuine place of change from everything that's happened, or if he's seizing the opportunity in a weird way. I almost don't care if it gets results, but like we said, we've seen the first step.
And I actually, it's good. I think it's a mix of both. I think there is some emotion behind it, but I 100% agree. I was going to bring this up as well. You said exactly the Hard Knocks. You guys saying in the chat, Hard Knocks is definitely going to be something going to be played on there. It's Jerry knows everything. Is still calculated, so
he's got his do's and don'ts list, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be on there. And it's going to be part of the story, one of the narratives, one of the storylines that Hard Knocks going to run with. I agree.
Gotcha. Oops, sorry, I pulled up one of there. What's up, Alan? Appreciate you showing up, buddy. Yeah. Good segue. Right into Hard Knocks. Y'all got any pet cats or anybody you're watching or any storylines you want to see come through?
Or just your overall thoughts on let me ask you this. Y'all happy we're on it, or did y'all want it, or did you not want it?
Nope.
No.
Thank you.
If you're happy
on the show that
again,
I hated it.
Yeah, no, our biggest thing is, I know you kind of hear the argument like, oh, any real football team won't let this be an issue. But I'm sorry, but every person, I feel like, if there's a camera following you 24/7 when you're trying to do camp stuff, it's like you feel that extra distraction, that extra something that's going on. You can say what you want, but especially knowing Jerry Jones, they're going to stage some stuff for the camera. And I just feel like a team that's actually trying to focus and win, wouldn't be, I don't see how they wouldn't be distracted, I should say, just naturally.
Well,
they can't help it.
Dallas always has the cameras around. And this is not as big as an issue, I think, that most of us might initially say, or the ones that don't want it think. It's still a distraction. I think it's worse almost for Mike McCarthy. I think he really didn't want it. So I think he wanted to keep this, secretive as possible and in-house. But listen, in reality, the Cowboy players are always dealing with cameras and microphones in their faces, and everyone's got their eyes on the Cowboys, and we know. So it's a little more to that. But any good team should be able to overcome that. Now, do I like it? No. I want the Cowboys, but can the Cowboys overcome this? Of course, if they can't, they're not that good of a team.
If there ever was a team to overcome this hard knocks curse, if you want to call it, man, this team is built to do it. I think.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any. I think the playoffs is not that. I mean, I know there's only a couple teams that have made it. The Rams made it last year, but I mean, there's no reason why this should affect our progress in the season. Some extra cameras hanging around.
I know, but for people to just dismiss it and say that, Hard Knocks doesn't, won't affect us or doesn't matter. Last year's training camp pretty much set up the downward spiral for the rest of the season when we started losing guys from day one from injuries because they weren't properly conditioned, because we couldn't even have the camp at Oxnard. So again, some obstacles are removed from us, but it just feels like, again, why even put a twig in their path that doesn't even need to be
I want clarity on the team. I want unity on the team. And
I want them to just focus on the football.
Sometimes the extra HBO stuff is going to be a little bit of a distraction, but a good team overcomes that. Case closed. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but I wish it wouldn't
happen. Not a fan at all.
Yeah, but it shouldn't.
We'll still be watching, of course.
Yeah, of course you will. You'll be glued.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's kind of my thought on it's not – if we would have if we would have volunteered for it, I'd been pissed.
Right.
But we didn't, so it's like, hey, they chose us, although I still think Jerry probably kind of elbowed Goodell and said, hey, put us on there. But until I find that out, I can't get too mad about it. But this is the issue I have. People say it's that we get media coverage anyways. It's no different. There's a huge fucking difference. Because, and I explained this last week, when we get reports out of camp, whether it's a written report or a verbal report from Slater or from Todd Archer, whoever's reporting it, we hear it and we see it when we read it. And that's all we get. It's a source that said it. It's something that the media saw. But we always question, well, how bad was it? Who was the source? Are they making the source up? Well, is it a coach doing, trying to piss a player off or trying to motivate a player? But when you see it, Hard Knocks actually shows it to you. An example is Bennett from 2008, when he was just acting lazy, taking knees all the time, wasn't listening to Coach Garrett. He came off like a dick. Yeah. If that would have been reported, like on paper, or media would have went on NFL Network and
we'd have
said,
blown it
this
off,
is what
I'm sure.
Bennett was doing, none of us would have actually saw it. We would have just like, is it that bad? Oh, no big deal. But when you see it, visually see it, it's a lot different. I mean, and it can cause issues. I'm not saying it will. I don't think it will. I think we'll handle it fine. But my point always was Hard Knocks is, why do it? Does it help? Is it going to help you win? And the answer is no. So if it's not going to help you win, then don't do it.
And that's exactly the way I feel. I feel that the Cowboys. First of all, I also don't feel the Cowboys should be able to be distracted enough. Like you said, we're in the same boat. We agree that we don't like it, but at the same time, it should not disrupt a team. It should not disrupt the team enough that I think it's going to throw them off the rails. Is it going to help us? No. So I don't want it. It's not going to help us.
See, that's where it came in. Like, if we volunteered for it, I've been pissed. I'm like, why, Jerry? Why do you want to volunteer for it? Because right now, you should be doing everything you can to get W's and get another chip. And if Hard Knocks doesn't help you get a chip, then don't do it. Because there's a bigger chance it can mess you up than it's going to help you. I don't think it's going to mess you up. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying it's a better chance that it can screw your.
Is there a positive?
More than it can help you.
Is there a positive outside of money for Jerry Jones and ratings? And there's not really a team positive.
Technically there is one good thing about Hard Knocks. If Jerry is supposedly talking the talk and it's all real and the changes that he says are actually happening within the organization are happening, that means while we're all watching Hard Knocks, we should see some of those changes.
You just see Jerry Jones all over the place, so we couldn't.
Unfortunately, because of Hard Knocks, we're pretty much like guaranteed Jerry Jones, like no matter what, 100%.
So that's still same old Jerry on that side.
Well, see, the proof. When people tell me, well, it's no different in any media. We get covered by the media all the time. It's no different.
Yeah.
And my proof is this. If it's no different, then why are you so fucking excited about watching it? You're excited about watching it because you're getting to see shit that you don't ever get to see.
It's behind the scenes
stuff. Normal media.
camp
Fucking
tape
James
with
Slater
production
and Todd
value.
Archer is not in the goddamn hotel lobby. They're not in your goddamn
Right.
room. They're not in the fucking meeting rooms. They're not in a coaching meeting room. They're not in a GM fucking round table where they're talking about shit. They don't get none of that. We get that now.
Yeah.
And that's why you're excited. So don't tell me it's just like any other media, because it's not fucking like any other media. It is a whole nother ball game.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, and you can come off bad. It's like Hugh Jackson. He came off awful, but I loved it because it's drama. And I don't
Right.
give a shit about the Browns, so I didn't give a shit if fuck they're singing up or not, and made him look like an idiot. But
I don't want any drama,
where
but I
everybody
love
else is
watching
gonna be
everybody
excited
else's.
Before every episode, people's going to be excited.
We don't want to see
I'm
all
gonna
the
be like
drama.
praying that nothing bad happens. I'm like, please, just nobody look stupid. Mike McCarthy, don't say nothing stupid. Players just, have fun, but don't do nothing stupid. That's what I don't want no drama, and it can bring drama.
Yeah,
So,
rolling
no,
it. Go ahead.
no, the other thing too is, this does give a few players that normally wouldn't get the chance to see the light of day on the field, right? There's always a story
Exposure.
about a player that, exactly would have never played or never gotten a chance. And then, all of a sudden he becomes like, the cute little storyline.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's what Jerry Jones likes, and that's what keeps the eyes on America's team and the money flowing. But that does not help the Cowboy team.
No, but
And
it keeps a body in camp. I mean,
I
still
know,
need
but
those.
are you keeping him because he's a storyline? Or are you keeping him because he's earned it? So,
No, but the point is that if they're going to waste camera time on a player or spend
Mm-hmm.
time following a player around 24/7, then at least let it be a player that's not out here that's going to contribute to our, our
Yes.
Super Bowl
I know
wins.
what you mean.
Hopefully,
I guess I see it from that.
that's
that
the
way,
point.
too.
It just, exactly. Like, feed them, the media that they want.
The one thing I know about this when it comes to how we got it, again, we had no option because the Cowboys were like a short list of like 5 or 6 teams that had two, 5 teams had 2 back-to-back.
And when you look at those
non-playoffs, I'm sorry, but not 2 non-back-to-back playoff seasons, and had to have, I think, 7 years off of Hard Knocks, and a coach can't be a rookie coach. So all these things, the Cowboys met all the criteria, so they were picked. But according to Stephen Jones, and we said this last night's show, that Stephen Jones said that they were told at a meeting, and they were not really doing too much pushing on it. They really didn't have a choice in it either way. But of course, the HBO is going to put the Cowboys front and center. And that's what brings in the most.
I find it hard to believe they didn't have a say in it. I find it really
Stephen
hard
Jones,
to believe.
Stephen Jones
HBO
said
might say
they
that.
did their usual little discussions, but they didn't push like they usually would when they had, an unbarred situation. They can fight
probably
for it.
didn't raise any objections, I'm assuming, when it was brought up. They were just like, yeah, okay.
And I agree with Eric though, because Stephen Jones is he's the less emotional version, passionate version, or genuine version of Jerry Jones. So to me, he's
a calculated, expressionless robot. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if Jerry went behind the scenes and told him, hey, pick us. But when everybody was talking about the 5 teams, and Cowboy fans, especially the ones who didn't want Hard Knocks, was trying to convince themselves how other teams would be just as good and just as ratings wise. I'm like, come on, y'all. They're picking us. They're not picking the fucking Cardinals or the Giants or some bullshit like. They don't give a shit about that. You got Dak coming off the injury. You got Jalen and Vandy, and we just signed a free agent, drafted 2 in the draft. So their job is like they're pretty much telling them, hey, y'all better step the fuck up. Our whole defense was horrible last year, so you got Clean coming in. There's so many storylines, even without us being the Cowboys, that they're not going to pick anybody but us. It was going to be us the whole time. There's just no, unless Jerry went to him and said, hey, don't pick us, I'll do something for you or some bullshit. And he ain't never going to do that.
No way. That's free advertisement. No way he's giving that up.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, hell, he was even talking about ratings and shit today. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I'm so fucking sick of hearing people talking about ratings.
I'm with you. When I hear that, I roll my eyes.
I got on Twitter people bragging about our ratings. I'm like, fuck, man, where are we at a franchise that's what we got to brag about now? Is that we're topping ratings because we're popular? Because we got a great owner as far as a businessman. He is 25 years of us being average to above average, and we're still top of our game in ratings and shit. So that family
we want Super Bowls,
yeah,
and
that
that's
family,
the thing.
that family can sell. They can sell some shit. Is what they can do.
And that's the thing. If you look at Stephen Jones, when they asked him, "Hey, what's your most proud achievement with the Cowboys?" and it's building AT&T Stadium and building the Star in Frisco, not winning fucking Super Bowls,
Right?
Which the Cowboys did 3 out of 4 years in the '90s. So that should be your proudest achievement. And I know he wasn't maybe as involved at the time. Still, should be your most proudest achievement when representing that star and our team.
Yeah, I'm with you. I want to bring up Eric's.
This guy, Eric. Yeah, nobody's saying no, I don't know if you saying it or you just making a comment, but no, I'm with you on that. There's two sides of the fan bases. One who say it's no big deal and they love it, and it's just like all the other media, which is a crock of shit. And then there's the other side who just think it's doom and gloom. Now we're not going to make the playoffs. We're going to suck. That's not true either. It's not. The Jets made the AFC Championship game when they did it. If you go back and look at the teams who sucked after doing Hard Knocks, they sucked because they sucked. Okay,
right.
I mean that's just
exactly.
It was a 5-11 team in 2001, and then got the Hard Knocks in 2002, and we sucked. We went 5-11 again. That was just how it happened. We didn't have a good team, and even in 2008 we didn't suck. Hell, we went 9-7. You know, and Romo missed 3 games that year. We went 1-2 in those games. We could at least won one more, made the playoffs that year. So we didn't suck. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be doom and gloom. I just don't see no purpose in doing it except that they made.
Yeah, most teams that are on that show are already pretty bad teams from the years previous because they either have to pick them or they're not playoff teams. New coach. You know, you got it.
Well, you know, like the Baltimore Ravens was the first one to do it. They came off the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and they got it. Right. But that team changed. They got rid of Dilfer. And I'm not saying Dilfer was a badass quarterback, but he was the best quarterback for that team.
Right. He fit that team best.
And they tried to upgrade to Elvis Grbac and try to numbnuts trying to do different offense. It's like, no, just let your defense do what they did and you won't ever hear me say this, but this is 20 years ago. Just run the ball and just dink and dunk it and let your defense play. You know, that was a different time. I say that now and I get all dirty. I got to go take a shower.
Y'all brought up some great points on why it won't help us, right? But I'm going to bring up here Eric's comment here. I look at Hard Knocks for who's getting cut, and that's it. So maybe not as a whole, as an organization, that's Hard Knocks is helpful, but to certain players, especially with young guys like this year with a huge rookie class, I think it can help some players like that. And so with Eric saying, you know, I just looked to see who getting cut. Those guys that are on that fringe they're battling for roster spots, it could help those. We know in Jerryland, popularity can get you a long way. It can boost your career pretty quickly.
But that's the thing. It's not the team thing. It's you're boosting their career somewhere else. Yeah. I don't really care. I mean, I care, but that's great that Jerry Jones is doing that. But I care about our team keeping the talent, or not. I know it's great for the players. I think you said that earlier. The young guys get a lot of help when they leave the team. That's what it's going to help them most, I think. Yeah.
I didn't mean it for like building a brand or popularity or like that. I'm just saying, like, as far as reaching that popularity by how they perform at camp. And
Amendola, think about him, right? I mean, he was cut and he had a good career and a great career, and you know, with multiple teams. But again, New England. But my thing is that's it's great to see those guys, the ones that can get on and be known better and know a little more about their story, and it maybe helps them get a job in the NFL. But I want the Cowboys to win. I don't know how else to say it. That's what I care about the most. So good for the players, but not any doesn't help the team. Doesn't hurt the team in that sense, but doesn't help the team at all. So
if we go 8-0 the first 8 games, I don't think nobody's going to look back like, hey, you know what? Fucking Hard Knocks. What's for Hard Knocks? We want to be 8-0 right now.
If we break the curse, it's going to be all Hard Knocks, bet.
Huh?
Yeah, Eric, the curse is going to all be Hard Knocks.
Eric's he's going to come on the show. I told you it was Hard Knocks, motherfucker.
We have a 10-year deal. 10-year That's called Cowboy Hard Knocks.
Look, Hard Knocks, let's be real. Hard Knocks fulfills the fun fan part that's inside of hopefully every Cowboy fan. That's it, straight up. Like that, it's fun to watch as a fan because you get to learn more about your players. You get to see our team in action. It feels, a little bit more intimate, like you're there. So it just, I don't know, you do get a different experience. So as a fan, I love Hard Knocks. I love watching our team on there. It's a lot of fun, but again,
it's stressful.
As a
it's stressful.
Fan,
it's stressful for me.
As a serious fan, like I said, it's that double-edged sword. There's a part of me that just wants to revel in the enjoyment and just say, fuck it. I just want to have fun watching our Cowboys. But then there's that other part of me that's like, I am more serious about our Cowboys winning and succeeding. And again, I feel like I don't want anything standing in their way. And I don't want Hard Knocks to be a distraction.
If you catch, Bennett on the other one, you'll say why you hate Hard Knocks and why it makes it stressful as a fan to see guys doing that. Now you know what's going on, and that's great. But it kind of alters your whole like it alters what you think about this player. Maybe they don't think they have to do as much to succeed on the team as well. It just some guys get a bigger head.
But you know what? I'd rather know that. That's the point. If we have someone like that on the team, I feel like I would rather know. I hate knowing that teams kind of cover up shit or hide shit. Like, no, if we have a player that's an issue or a problem, in a weird way, like I said, I'd rather know, because it feels like, again, it feels a little bit more justifiable when you see things happening. Because sometimes you'll see a player not playing, and instead of saying, hey, like, why is he not playing? No, I want to know. It's because he was late to practice. It's because he didn't show up to meetings. It's because he's not putting in the work. Then, I want to know the team's handling that appropriately too.
Yeah. And that's a great point. And I want to know too. But I want to know. I want them to fucking call me and tell me. I don't want to put it on goddamn national television so the whole country would know, and all the media could swarm like, hey, did you see what that player did? And they ask all 53 players, so what do you think about him? What do you think about what he said? If they want to call me and tell me, fuck yeah, Jerry, call me and tell me what he's doing
Here's
wrong.
my number.
In-house.
Yeah, here's my number. But no, I'm with you.
In-house.
And that's why I love Hard Knocks, because I want to know that shit.
Right.
It's just, when I know it, that means I know every other motherfucker on earth knows it too now. And that's where the problem comes in at. But no, I agree with you on that.
Well, you mentioned our house. The problem is the Cowboys' house is the biggest house. Like,
yeah.
It's a big-ass house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a big.
So,
hey, is my sound okay now? Keith said something about my sound.
Yeah,
okay.
much better.
Okay,
That was a good point there too. You get to know the coaching staff and how they work, so maybe we get another idea of how they, communicate with the players, which is something that we like to. If we saw Mike Nolan compared to Dan Quinn, you'll see the immediate difference.
Yeah, and hey, I know a lot of
How
people
players
still
respond.
like a lot of people aren't 100% on McCarthy. Like, I know I still kind of have a few questions for Mike McCarthy. So
Agreed.
it'd probably be nice to hear his reasoning on, hey, this is why I hired this coach. This is why I have this guy playing at this position. Like,
But the same
I
reason
wanna see-
we want to know.
Yeah. That's
No.
So I hear you, Charlie. I hear you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be as big a distraction to derail us from the playoffs or from the Super Bowl. If that's where we're going to go, it should not be enough. And if we get to that point, maybe it did make us a little stronger, a little more, to be able to, persevere over some
I
more.
still need to know
roadblocks.
why Nashawn Wright got drafted when he drafted. I have questions. I need answers.
He's looking good.
I know, but
He just got signed yesterday. Chauncey
Hey.
Goldston signed
I
today.
know.
He's one of my
We're all locked
pets. He's one of my
yeah,
pets. I'm standing on that
That's
hill.
going to be an exciting thing, and that is, because most years, Bluff from Bluff City, from Cowboy Zone, I give him a shout out. He's my dude. He brought it up a while back, saying this is probably the first time in a long time that I can't tell you. Like most of the time, every year, I can tell you what the starting roster is going to be. Out of 22, I can name at least 19.
Right.
This year I can't. On the offense, I can. I can name all 11 on offense.
Yeah.
But on defense, that's difficult. There's, and even more difficult is the depth chart. It's just like, for years you kind of knew, who the starter is going to be, couple, the backups, and then you had like 3 or 4 spots open who was going to battle. This year, I think it's going to be wild. Who's going to start at corner, on the other corner, where's Jalen going to play, where's LBE going to play, where's Micah going to play, how many snaps they going to get, who's going to start, what kind of depth chart they're going to do on a defensive line,
every level.
How many corners they keeping, how many safeties are they keeping. It's going to be wild. And that's the part of Hard Knocks I'm going to be excited to see. And I hope, I wasn't a fan of the pick of Parsons, but I love the player. I just wasn't a pick of the position. So, but he's my guy that on the show we did with Bluff, who did I think was going to steal the show on Hard Knocks. And I think Parsons is going to steal the show. I think with his personality and just how he's upbeat, I think he's going to be loud, not loud in a bad way, like talking shit
he's
loud,
a
but in a good way,
in the
in a
locker
fun
room.
way. And I think he's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, Micah Parsons to me is, I kind of just want, like you said, I want to see him on the field doing it right. But it's good to hear the fact that he's already doing the responsible things, some mature things with his new money, right? And I believe that he will. Right now, DeMarcus Lawrence is kind of like the pseudo leader. I've never been a fan of Tank being the leader, but I think that Micah Parsons can be that guy. Not necessarily right off the bat, but he can definitely be, like you said, maybe the presence in the locker room that people can feed off of, and that will make him the leader on the field, and then that could grow into something more.
I totally agree with you.
I think we'll get to see a huge dose of that too on this show, because you kind of see it with those clips with Amari Cooper playing chess and all that, and you kind of see that leader come out and, I'm gonna step to you, veteran, this and that. Now, of course,
exactly.
he game of chess, but he's got that swagger, that that step.
And
I'm not afraid of hunger.
Yeah, he got the hunger to go and challenge everyone at the top.
Sure.
That's what a leader does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we agree 100% on that. I think I'm with you. I don't. He might not come out day one the leader, but I think by season end, I think he will be the leader on defense. I think we can look at him for the next 5 to 10 years. Hopefully they don't pay him too much money.
Linebackers don't really last that long these days.
That's 5 to 7 years. That's what Marshall was talking about. So it's kind of like paying them is kind of iffy because you don't have a lot of Brian Urlachers and.
That's one of those positions where you really don't want to repay. You don't want to. You don't want to resign.
We had some recent issues paying that position, whether Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, LVE.
Yeah, talk about a swing and a miss, every direction,
and different for different reasons. And I guess not Sean Lee, but I'm saying Sean Lee and LVE kind of similar reasons, but LVE has a specific issue.
They're like a couple twins.
I'm telling you, so
soft
it's just
tissue.
scary to pay all that money so fast. Let's see how he goes. We got 4 years of enjoyment, and the 5th-year option. He'll get his money. If he's the guy, he'll get another 3-year deal. And that's a good 8 years solid on this defense. If
Jalen got his, this man will definitely get it. He comes with sunglasses or some kind of little side deal they can stick in the front hall of the Star.
Yeah,
a little boutique of some other different. What was it? McCarthy come in some Jamie Foxx shades. Come on,
James Slater threw out there.
Oh man, they got him too. They caught Jerry.
He's like, "Oh, what about Jalen Smith's clear eye view?" And Jerry's like, "What?
Yeah, he was
Who?"
But McCarthy caught it, and he's like, "Oh, come on, let's keep walking."
That's great. Funny. That's very funny. They also brought up Randy Gregory. That's another topic I want to get to you guys. What are your expectations of him this season? Now, we all knew that the talent was there, right? But it's just never put it together and back and forth with the league and whatnot. But it seems like he's been clear-headed for a while now, and he's kind of taking care of business and didn't really get enough PT. I think his consensus last year with the old regime. So what do y'all expect him to do here?
He's CD's like my breakout guy on the offensive side if he's not already broken out. But I think Randy Gregory's that guy this year on defense. I know Micah Parsons is the rookie guy, right? But the impact there. But I think Randy Gregory's going to be huge to help the secondary, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That pass rush, the front seven. And Micah's part of that too. But Randy Gregory, you got around 800 snaps since 2016. That's Dak was drafted and Zeke was drafted. So not much work. I mean, you get 1,000 snaps a season on a 16-game season. Exactly. This guy's healthy. This guy's healthy. He has a lot of tread on the tire, like Jerry said. So that side, I think I feel great. Every time he's come in, even on short notice, the guy has produced great efficiency. Some boneheaded plays when he came back a couple of years ago and some penalties. But outside of that, he picks up pretty much where he leaves off. Yet last year, same thing. He was one of the highest efficient players when he got some snaps, which was limited. But the one thing I'll say is that, when it comes to the marijuana situation, and again, we know the policies changed in the NFL, but he's still under the old clause. He's still, part of the he's what is it called?
He's still under the conditional reinstatement.
Reinstatement. So he still has to follow the conditions to stay, to be staying in the league. So they test him, and like you said, I think he's clear and focused now. He's got the right people around him. He had a divorce. He has a couple kids. He's just born in this time frame. So, he's got a lot of other stuff going on. He had it. Right now, he's kind of got things in order. He's been focusing on football. You can see now he has his first off-season training camp since his rookie year coming up. I think the Cowboys are also banking on him in a contract year. I think that he is the guy that's going to be playing the Leo pass rusher for Dan Quinn's defense. Leo meaning that he's going to be the weak side pass rusher where there's one less blocker, let's say. Yeah. He's going to be on that side when Tank's going to take on more of the blocks, which is the Tank thing. So you're going to have him coming in spread out as a Leo. You also spread out farther out, so you have to stretch the tackle, the tight end blocking you, and it opens the seam either for you to do a move or to let somebody else come in there and
linebacker, sure.
So he's going to be such a key player for this defense. Tank is a key player. You got to scheme against him if you're the offenses.
But he'll probably end up similar to how Quinn ended up, in the sense of Quinn ended up having more sacks.
Robert Quinn.
Yeah, Robert Quinn. Good point. I forgot we have Coach Quinn. But similar to Robert Quinn and how he ended up kind of, technically on paper looking like the better player to Tank that year because he had more sacks and he had the better stats and stuff. So I think Randy Gregory is going to end up very similar in having more sacks and probably, more play time.
I agree. I agree with the sacks for sure. The one thing that was the big difference between Randy Gregory and Robert Quinn and Tank is a fantastic edge setter, run stopper, one of the best edge guys that can stop the run in the NFL, proven year after year. And Randy Gregory is maybe not as good as him. Not many are, but he is much better than Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn was getting destroyed. Go to the Minnesota game. He was destroyed. They just ran to his side every time. Yeah. Quinn could not stop the run. The Bears see that now. They make their mistake. We didn't really have a run stopper. It was Aldon Smith or Everson Griffin last year. This year, Randy Gregory, he's going to help on that side too. That's going to help for sure. He's able to get in there and be very disruptive. And I think that's going to help as long as he can set the edge. And he does well at playing the run. Not great, but he does well at playing the run, mixing that in with the other guys around and Tank on the other side. He's going to be a big improvement, even from Quinn, even from anybody else we had the last couple of years, opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, we haven't seen what he's or been being reported as how much he weighs, but he's put on some weight. He's leaned up, bulked up, and looks really good. It's going to be exciting to watch him do his thing.
I saw some clips of him going back in coverage. Dan Quinn, don't scare me like that.
Yeah, stop. Every once in a while, to kind of throw a DC off, or something like that.
They will, because when they use him as Leo standing up, they're going to confuse what they'll do. They'll drop him, but that means they're bringing somebody else.
Yeah,
one of those zone blitzes. Yeah, so it won't be actually him covering. It'll just be him.
Zoning,
which again really just begs the questions of what kind of complementary packages will they bring in around Gregory, and that that opens up. You kind of said it earlier. How are we going to use Micah Parsons? Jalen Smith is another guy I could see being used in a similar role sometimes, because it can't it's not all going to be all Micah, right?
Every time blitz.
I'm just saying that you start getting deeper and deeper, and like you said, our depth chart is really going to come into play this year. Especially if we still have guys like LBE.
Yeah, we're set at linebacker, but the interior run stop with our, interior, that's going to be the big question. Not question. I think we're heading the right direction. I just got to see it. That's going to be a big tail of our defense this year if we can stop the run.
Yeah, and I think it'll be on the shoulders of our tackles. To be honest, the majority of that, I don't think it'll be. It's not a huge deal with obviously the linebackers get freed up the better your tackles are, but I think it starts with them. It's going to be on the Urban, most likely at your 1, and maybe a Gallimore or a Osa at your 3. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. He's a great run stopper, Randy. I just don't see him. I mean, he's a 10 times better pass rusher in my opinion.
Oh yeah. But he has to do both if he's going to be out there.
Sure.
He's going to be better than Robert Quinn is my point. And so in the sense of run stopping, which has to come along complementary with the pass rush, which he's great at. I mean, I think he's better than Quinn at pass rushing in some ways. So interior, I agree. Brett Urban he's going to take double teams. He's going to be able to hold his gaps assignments. So he's going to be good there. I think I agree with Gallimore on some rushing downs and maybe Tristan Hill and Osa coming in. I think Osa is going to be a third down pass rushing specialist his first year, and maybe the future Michael Bennett type guy for Dan Quinn. We'll have to see on that. But I think he's going to be a full-time guy next year.
That's a great comparison. He's really handsy. He's a world-class wrestler.
Yep.
That's a great comparison. I like that.
Yeah. So pass rush this year, watch him in there.
You kind of.
I wonder if he'll wear them tiny-ass little pads, too.
Michael Bennett.
Extra small, PV pads.
That's jersey, bro. That's a PV hit pad or something.
You kind of mentioned this too, but obviously this is also going to be the longest stretch of time that Randy Gregory's just consecutively played football, basically since he's been in the league. So I'm going to assume that just that consistency, that length, being with the coaches, we're kind of. I feel like we're almost counting him out of the run stop, before he's had a chance to see if he can improve or do better at that. Just not a lot. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying, no, you said he's going to do better than Quinn no matter what. I'm just saying that, I think he has the potential to maybe do even better than that just in general. Because we're going to see a more consistent Gregory.
I agree with you. I think, what he's shown is already better.
He played any snaps.
Right. What he's shown is already better than Quinn when it comes to setting the edge and helping the run support, which is important.
Imagine how much more he can show when he's actually able to get the snaps that, I think all of us feel he deserves.
Yeah. Okay.
Rocka wrote a good blog on it. She has a good on Randy Gregory. If y'all get a chance, check it out. It's called Fair is Fair. Is that what it was called, Eric? I think it's Fair is Fair. Yeah. It was a good one. It was a whole write up on Gregory. She's a big Gregory fan.
All right, yeah.
Again, we've been cheering him on since the beginning and really hopeful that, he was able to get this mess resolved, and really glad, obviously now he's going to be hopefully a big piece to the Cowboys that we're hoping eventually will be a team friendly deal if it works out.
Yeah, I mean, we hope, but the thing is that I know a lot of Cowboy fans, and we've been doing this is our 5th off season basically, and in the beginning, I remember everyone was like, cut Gregory. I'm like, you actually lose money on the cap if you cut him. And people didn't understand.
You got to pay attention to contracts for sure.
Exactly.
It's real easy. Just run over to OTC.
Yep.
They click a couple of buttons, and it's like a X or something, and they'll give you pre-June, post-June. They'll give you all the details
are there.
How it affects.
There's no guessing. Yeah.
Right.
There's no guessing. Yep.
Steve brings up a good question. Will you see Anai at all this season? Let's see him in camp first. Can he get it? I don't think he's going to get a shot. He's so far down, and he's just getting pushed down further, in my opinion. You've still got, Dorrance needs some shots. Now, he got a bunch of time last year, but, he's got to beat out some of these guys in camp before we'll see him at all in the season.
He has to have the opportunity. I think that Dorrance Armstrong is the one who's going to lose out. And the reason I say that is because I think that Bradley Anai, he was a scout pick more than a coach pick from Mike Nolan, and so was Reggie Robinson as well. So, I'm sorry?
I was to make our buddy Bluff. I said he just died. He's a big Dorrance Armstrong fan.
Yeah, I like Dorrance Armstrong.
Special teams.
I like Dorrance Armstrong, but man, last year he just played horrible in my opinion, and he put him out there more. I didn't understand that. So so that made he has to still he's got a little upper hand on Bradley and I, but now I think Anai's gonna have more opportunity with this coaching staff. We got to see what he's gonna do. Got to see other guys. Rondell Carter is still in the bottom there. He's going to be fighting. So I got to see. That's going to be interesting for Harden and see what occurs here with that stuff too. As depth of the edge.
Yeah,
I think Dorrance is in trouble.
Everything you just mentioned. That's why Hard Knocks is going to be exciting this year because there is a lot of camp battles. I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, usually there's a bottom end camp battles. The last wide receiver position, maybe the last defensive end position. Maybe the last safety, but for the most part, everything was set. Right now, there ain't a lot set. I mean, it's going to be some fucking battles, and I want to enjoy every minute of it.
Agree, 100%. I think starting battles on the defensive side, we don't know. Of course, the linebacker thing and some of the pieces are going to be on the defensive line, rotational. But cornerback, I still want to see what Kelvin Joseph's going to do. Second round pick against, see if he comes close to at least beating out Anthony Brown. Jordan Lewis, we'll see how he does. I don't know if they're going to play him always as a slot. Maybe he needs a little outside spot chance. But with Dan Quinn's defense, they want the longer guys. So he's going to probably stay in the slot for the most part. But I want to see how this defense plays as well as a whole as a unit under Dan Quinn, including those guys in the back. I love Donovan Wilson. That's strong safety. I'm all right with DeMonte Casey, probably a better interceptor than, as to say, than Xavier Woods, but similar kind of guys, I guess.
And he'll put a shoulder too. He'll hit you too.
Yeah, he'll try. He'll get run over by Zeke, but yeah.
Well, come on, everybody does.
But I'd rather he's not making tackles at free safety.
Yeah,
like that. But the thing is that if something happens to Casey, Wilson probably going to have to go to free safety. And then you got to figure out was Keanu Neal come back and play strong safety? Is Jaron Kearse going to win that position on the team?
If I didn't bring up Jaron Kearse, Bluff would kill me.
I mean, these are battles we're going to see. It's going to be very, very important. And these are not just backups; these are guys going to be vital, whether injury or sub packages on the defense.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to give my answer to the Anai question because I probably got hurt.
Sorry, go ahead.
The only way we're going to see Bradley Anai is if somebody gets hurt.
Really? That's what you think?
I'm sorry, but somebody's got to go out there and break something, sprain something.
Everything I've seen from him in college and the little that he's gotten here in the Cowboys, he's got a couple tricks in the pass rush game, and that's it. He doesn't have the build. He's not a big guy. He's not going to put up a wall and stop.
There's always somebody who's just a little faster, a little bigger, a little stronger. Just knows the playbook a little better. So I don't know what it is. But I hope that he can obviously, depends on how he progresses
now,
as well.
The flashes we've seen, he's a highlight reel. So, you want to see it. You just want to see it more often, I think.
I wonder because he was a scout pick, is that why he didn't get as many opportunities? And I want to get opportunities this year.
We bring it up a lot, man.
In a corner.
You got to have
Eric
a sponsor.
Sponsors, yeah. I was just about to say that. Eric brings up sponsors, and Bluff brings up his
special
size.
Teams,
And in his size, he's got, I think Bluff said 31-inch arms. He's kind of
little.
And that's not Dan Quinn type of guy. And then he has no sponsor because he was drafted by the other coaching staff. So he's already behind the 8 ball right there.
But so is Dorrance Armstrong.
Like Bluff said last time, he's going to have to go over the top and just ball out and just to the point where they're like, dude, we can't keep this guy off the team. That's what he's going to have to do to make the team.
I agree. That goes to all of them, though. I think him and Dorrance got to do that kind of stuff. And, you brought up Tristan Hill. I think he'll stay on the team this year, but I brought up Osen for a reason. I think he's going to be the guy that kind of becomes the full-time starter next year. If Tristan Hill, he's almost at the end of his rope here if he can't stay healthy or keep progressing, which I think he was doing last year until he got injured. But hopefully he'll be. I want to see that camp battle and see what Tristan Hill can bring to the table this year as well.
Yeah,
I've got him third on the depth chart at the 3 tech.
Yeah, that's
behind Neville and behind Osa. And really, Gallimore and Osa, they could be right there. I mean, I'd love to see. Of course, you got to see Osa in action with at this level. But man, if he reaches any kind of close to his potential, he's going to take Gallimore's spot.
It's his job, yeah.
He'll take. I think Neville can move to 1 tech maybe in the future. If that's what happens with Brett Urban leaving after a year, right? So that could be a thing you can see. You can see it this year too. Neville moving over to 1 tech at times because there's going to be different rotations, sub packages. You're going to bring a pass rush.
Exactly.
I think Tristan Hill is the better, let's say 1 tech, and Osa is the 3 tech at a 3rd and 12.
Right.
You want to bring those guys in there.
Exactly, but it's still kind of leaving him floating in the wind.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's the thing. And Bohanna, I think next year we'll see if he's the guy that maybe comes in as the run-stopping 1 tech, and maybe you can have, a better interior there with maybe Neville and Bohanna if that works out. We'll see. They're going to change things up with Dan Quinn, but I'm excited.
Bohanna's a fan favorite, for this year.
A lot of people like both.
And I just keep telling people, I'm like, I don't see it not this year. I mean, I see him
next year, maybe
less than 10% of the snaps, maybe not even that much. I just don't really see him playing much. In fact, on our show we did with Bluff, surprise cuts, I had him as my surprise cut.
Wow.
I mean, just because I don't know where he fits in. Because he's a fat 1 tech that's just going to stop the run. We have Brett Urban, and then we have other guys who can do. We have Osa. He could play the 1
and rush the pass.
Rush the passer.
Yeah,
he's not as big. I he might have trouble in there in the NFL first year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, most definitely, yes.
But see, I see Bohanna as a guy. See, Mike McCarthy and I think Dan Quinn both said that he's kind of like Tyler Biadasz, who's the only center on our team. He's the only true nose tackle on our team because Brett Urban's moved around at 3 tech, 5 tech, 4 tech, all over the place. Bohanna is a guy that you don't have anyone like him as of this moment. He's the only guy like that.
He has one job.
He's a nose tackle, and he's the only 0 tech or 1 tech we have on this team. And because of that, he is an important. We draft him for a reason, I believe, whether Dan Quinn's guy or not. There's a reason why Dan Quinn wants to use him. I keep telling my audience, our audience, we try, because a lot of people do say, "Oh, Bohanna's starting." I'm like, yeah, simmer down. Bohanna's gonna be a guy you're gonna see, like you guys said, short yardage and those kind of things. But 5-10 snaps a game if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's what I don't see him taking a lot of snaps. I mean, well, first of all, a true 1 tech, a true 0 tech, a true nose tackle that's there to stop the run, they don't take a lot of snaps anyways. All of them take 50% or less just because,
rundown.
like I've said before,
there's not that many rundowns.
Their playing time is depending upon the defense failing and the team failing. Because if you go out there on a 1st and 10 and you got your big fat dude out there and the defense does his job and they stop in the 2nd and 10, fat dude's coming off the field.
Correct.
So he's already off the field. Okay, and then if the defense does their job again and it's 3rd and 10, fat boy's staying off the field.
Correct.
And he gets to come back on if they fail and make it 3rd and 1. Then he gets to come back on. So they only play when your defense is failing on a per down basis, or when your other team is up 14 points and they're just going to run the ball on you. Then he'll be down there for 3 downs because they're going to run the ball.
He's a specialist. He's a specialized player.
He does
run only plays. And the way he stays on the team is for next year. I think he'll get on the team this year. I understand why he's at the close being cut. But he'll have to establish himself in some way, at least a push in the middle on pass rush down, on passing downs where he has to find some usage there as well, or else he might be in trouble for his future with the Cowboys. But I want to see him what he's going to do, and I think that right now he's the only guy we have that truly is just a big fat guy in the middle. That's 330 plus, and is going to be there to take on blocks. Can he do it in the NFL? We'll see. Brett Urban can do it, but he's here for 1 year, so we'll have to wait.
We need somebody a little bit more long term.
And Brett Urban is more of a David Irving kind of guy, right? Brett Urban is a 6'7",
he can move up and down the line,
right? And he's longer, right? He's not a big guy. He's not a big fat guy. He's a longer kind of stretched out guy.
Yep, he's like 6'5" or some shit like that.
6'7", I think.
Holy shit, that's even taller. I'm assuming that's a different BJ Nix than I know. So, anyways, thanks for sub, Bubba.
No, that's BJ?
I can't see his picture.
Your guy Nick's on Twitter. There's a couple of underscores in there. That's from Star Gang.
What's
up, BJ? Appreciate you stopping by, checking us out, supporting us. There's actually a ton of names in here I don't recognize. They had to come from MCF. Sadiqa's in the house. Let's see, Joe Garcia, Snug X. Let's see who else.
Guys, make sure if you're here in the chat, hit like, subscribe, guys.
Yeah, do us a
Something
favor.
going on.
Go smash all them
that
buttons.
you want to see.
Yes.
Yeah, hit the like button because I want to tell you right now, I'm not so sure that we have ever told anybody to hit the like button. I thought about that last time. Like, we always tell them to sub, but we fucking never say, hey, hit the like button.
It's just a weird
analytics.
thing for us to ask people for things, right?
So
it's just weird for us. So
last
we don't
night
want
I thought I'm gonna start. On the first of the video, I'm gonna say, "Hey, before you even say anything,
And that notification
hit that
bell.
fucking like button." And at the end, I'll say it again.
There you go.
Thanks for reminding us because we got to start telling people that.
Trust me, no, it definitely, like anything, especially with YouTube, like it's really weird because when you think about it, it's like it's just you talking to your computer, but it's obviously a lot more than that, but especially in the beginning, like as you're starting to figure it out and like the first weeks and months, and it's still like,
hey, our intros are super
man,
awkward.
what's going
natural.
on?
I feel more comfortable in our little pre-show, chats or whatever with whoever's on or whoever we're, chopping it up with, because it's just, just talking. It's like how we, any group or any social media or anything like that. It's just, we're just chopping it up. But then turn on a little camera, put a little lights on there.
It starts off that way, but you know what? Once you go a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years into this thing, it's like you're talking normal old
exactly.
time.
So it does get better. It's just funny because again, I remember when we started out, it felt very unnatural to tell people like, hey, subscribe to us. Like, what? That's weird. Yeah.
Snug, that's fucked up, Snug.
That is messed up. Snug's one of our guys. He's a good.
Appreciate you coming out, man. Appreciate you coming out.
Good point. I mean, hey, Josh Brent without the crash.
It's a pretty good comparison thing, I think.
He's.
I just got that. It took me a while. I'm like, what? So now I just
Josh Brent, the car crash.
Yeah. I had a little.
We got some jokers in our chat sometimes. I told you we try to keep it family friendly for about a day.
Come watch us because we're full of that shit.
Yeah,
I hear you. Trust me. It's certain things we can't say because we are on. We it's about football, right? So that's why we try to keep it.
Like Bluffs, when we watch him, I'm always in his chat just blowing it up with bullshit, and they're like, Jesus Christ, Charlie. I'm always going to talk shit and just.
I've seen where they don't even post our comments because it's so bad. It's like, oh, that's raunchy, bro.
They're like, oh, you can just see their eyes go.
That's not for this channel, doc.
That's why you're uncensored.
Hey,
I love it.
You know why you're here.
I've got our little niche. We'll stay right here.
We feel you, man. It's almost like it's really the opposite. My Cowboys family is like not family friendly, so we feel you.
Yeah,
our family roles.
That's when I was telling Eric. I said I invited him to come on. I was like, at least we don't have to worry about the uncensored part with them. He goes, well, that's true. Because most people that come on, I always try like even when I ask Marcus Mosier to come on, I'll let him know, hey, look, we are uncensored. If you want to watch one of our shows first, I don't want you coming in and being surprised. And I even told him I'll back off a little bit if you want me to back off. He's like, no, hell no, go. So,
good. That's a good sign.
BJ's got a great question.
Do.
Snap count percentage for Jalen next season. What y'all got?
That's a tough one because we have to see how he's going to play out, right? I mean,
how much do I want him to play? Less than 50% of the snaps. How much will he get? How many fucking sunglasses is he going to sell? I don't know. Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
It's a good question. It's a tough question, and it's really hard to figure out because LV is going to take some snaps, right? We know Micah's going to be all over the field, whether sometimes that edge rush at some moments, and he'll be in there as a Sam, which is Jalen's spot. Yeah, he might move the middle a little bit. So you're going to see, I think, when Jalen moves to when Micah goes to the middle for a couple snaps here and there, I think Jalen comes in possibly at the Sam. Maybe he comes like a pass rusher type, like you said earlier. And sometimes when you see Micah at the Sam, you see OVE there in the middle. And then, Keanu Neal is going to be the weak side guy. Let's just figure that out. He's kind of like the hybrid. He's strong safety, but he's a weak side linebacker. It's Jabril Cox, So you got a guy in the box covering, tight ends. Some coverage there, probably his own stuff when it comes to bigger slot receivers, but he's there for run support as well, and he can do both. So you kind of always
should be freed up in this system. He should be freed up a lot of the time to just fly.
And he knows Dan Quinn's system, right? I mean, he played in it last year. He played pretty much in the box most of the time last year. Not playing in the backside there or two cover two or anything like that. He's back there. He was in the box most of his snaps last year. He basically played weak side linebacker. So I feel he's going to mesh well and mix in good with Dan Quinn's defense. But at linebacker, again, I think you're going to see that rotation in there. And then Jabril Cox will come in at times, maybe more for middle of the year next year, as the replacement for Keanu Neal, in my opinion. That's what I think he's going to be at eventually.
Yeah, right now he probably needs a little bit of size. He's probably your best coverage linebacker. I think Charlie and I both said that a few times.
For sure.
You'll probably see him a lot on third down in those nickel packages.
Yep,
I keep calling it big nickel because you can keep Neal in there, slow roll him over to strong safety, bring out Wilson, and then put in Cox as your will linebacker. That way you stay big enough to play the run, but you can cover anybody.
Right, and 3rd and 17.
Exactly.
Don't worry about the run. You should be. I don't care who we have in the game. They should be able to still play football, right? So they should be able to make that tackle if they do a draw play, right, to a running back or a screen. Let's get out there and stop a 17-yard. They can't get 17 yards on any defense we got out there. So
yeah.
That's that. I agree 100%. You're going to see Jabril Cox come in there on definite pass coverage downs. I think those 3rd and 15s and more. Jabril Cox will make his set presence and to give a little break time for Keanu Neal rotation at times. I think he'll be there most of the time. He knows Dan Quinn's defense.
Sure.
And while you see the other two spots in our nickel, and I say nickel, like you said, it's more of a big nickel.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you're going to see the two linebackers. It's going to be Micah and LVE or Micah and Jalen Smith. Sometimes Jalen and LV, I'm sure, and sometimes Micah will be helping out. But he's going to be rushing sometimes, so don't.
Yeah, they could put him down the line. Yeah.
So when he's there, you're definitely going to see Keanu, LV, and Jalen possibly at the linebacker spot. So it's going to be fun, but it's really hard to see percentages. I would say 35%. I don't know, third. If he's it's hard to figure, but
I think that's a healthy number. I think that should be ballpark. Cox.
Jalen. That's what.
Yes.
No, Jalen.
You were talking about Jalen.
35%. Yeah, Cox will be out there at 10%. He's more like a Bohanna kind of guy. Yeah, the 10 snaps. I think you're going to see a lot of Jalen Smith. I think you see only about 35%. Mixed in there, jumping around in his two spots. And same thing with LVE. And I think Mike is going to pick up a lot of that.
I hope. I hope and pray. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Y'all pause for a second. I don't mean
no. I'm just, honestly, for me, it's just short and simple. Jalen Smith should get a little under 50% of the snaps under the scheme that I think we're going to put out there, but he'll probably end up getting closer to 60% of the snaps when LVE inevitably gets hurt and he has to pick. When I look at the last few seasons and the trends, you got to give credit where credit's due. Jalen Smith has stayed incredibly healthy. And he has been available.
Right.
He's been there. And like you said, you want to talk about familiar with the scheme. He does know at least, not necessarily the new scheme we're going to be putting out there.
The Marinelli days, right?
Exactly. But he is still comfortable being a Cowboy, so to speak. Yeah. So being out there with the team.
The Marinelli scheme is similar. There's some similarities.
Like the Dan Quinn scheme has a lot of similarities to the Marinelli scheme. So it's going to feel
better
more
for
familiar
Jalen
to him. Yeah. But honestly, I just see it from a purely injury standpoint. Yeah. I don't see how, no offense, LVE lasts the whole season. So Jalen Smith's going to be the guy picking up that slack. But if he somehow does make it throughout the whole season, I do agree with you, Eric. I think it's going to be somewhere in the realm of under 50%. I think you're almost lowballing it a little bit, just because I still think
you definitely change my mind now when I think about the injuries.
I remember Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith had 1 year where I know, we all saw it. We were there. He had 1 year, and I have just maybe a hope, maybe a feeling. Call it dumb, but I think that going back to a slightly more familiar scheme, adding Dan Quinn's kind of twist, and of course the number one thing, we've hopefully have fixed the issues when it came to the D-line. So improving the D-line alone should hopefully make Jalen Smith look better. So
you guys think sub 50? We've got some comments, 60% around. And
I pray to little baby Jesus, all 6 pounds, 8 ounces, that you are correct, and he gets 60% or less. But I'm with Bluff and some other guys from last night's show.
99%.
I can't see that because he's never gotten below 93% of snaps. Mm-hmm. And I can't see them just all of a sudden say, you know what, we're taking 30% of your snaps away. I think he's going to push 90% of the snaps.
Yeah, there's two answers here: what you want and what probably happen.
I'm on y'all side, and whatever thing you said, every one of y'all made sense, and that's how I feel. I just don't see it happening because they don't always do shit that makes sense. But I agree with you. The philosophy y'all have, 100%, I'm on. I don't see it. I don't think it happens. But
I think the best way to attack it is to decide where he's going to play. If he's playing the Sam, which is where I have him, and I actually have him behind LVE at the Sam linebacker position, if I'm running the team, but in that being the Sam, he's coming off the field. I mean, we're in nickel 60, 70% of the time. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but just that alone, I don't see him beating out Micah in the middle. I just don't. Now he might come in for packages where they're blitzing, or maybe even a monster blitz, double A gap blitz, something like that with both him and Micah, something like that. But I just don't see him beating out. I don't want him as a green dot player. I don't want him with the headset and his helmet. Give it to Micah. So if the mic is gone, we know we brought Neil in to play Will, and he's probably going to get most of the snaps at Will, barring injury. So we're looking at 60 to 70% of the snaps. So he's already at 40 at top, at the very most if he's playing that Sam linebacker position. So,
Yeah, common sense will tell you if you draft a linebacker in the first round, you draft another one in the fourth round, and you sign one in free agency, a safety, to make him a linebacker.
To play the positions that he played.
Jalen Smith ain't playing that much.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I go with my common sense with the Cowboys, I end up looking like a dumbass.
Yeah, Jerry jumped in. Like, you gotta put them sunglasses, bro. You
that shit don't always mix. So, but yeah, no, I just, and actually I got talked out of it. Bluff and them, man, that's what Bluff said a few times. I'm like, I'm starting to buy into that, that they just not going to take his snaps away from that much by that far. Because before I thought, yeah, he's going to play 50%, 40 at most, 40 at least. But Bluff is.
I guess is Jalen Smith the new Jeff Heath?
Yeah.
Easy.
Talking about the GOAT.
That's the GOAT there, boy. Can Jalen kick field goals?
Right, see, when it comes to the one thing I'll say about Micah Parsons, though, coming in at linebacker, I think it's going to take a little longer than we think to play middle linebacker in the NFL. So I think Jalen's going to have that green dot.
In this scheme, though, I mean, everything is one gap. You just blow it up. Play the run on the way.
I know, but it's still hard to be.
You think Micah's going to have to beat it and rip it off his head in the middle of the season?
No, I think Michael will earn it, but it might take a little time. I think Jalen's going to be the guy who still starts with it. They can't count LV. That's why he didn't get it, right? So the guy who can definitely stay on the field at the most is Jalen Smith. You guys make great arguments on why he's going to get.
Yeah, I think it goes.
You guys say about the way the defense is going to be set up in some ways, and what the common sense of the Cowboys are. It's really, hey, he's going to be on that field more than we really want to see him out there. Hence why I think he'll get the green dot in the beginning, and then we'll see what happens as next year. I think Micah. Remember the contract is what, 2.8 dead million, 2.8 million dead money next year if we release him. So he's not secure team. Are they going to try to get his snaps out this year to see if he is worth that? That's another reason why maybe they put his snaps up. So there's a lot of things to figure out. The first question asks, how much is the percentage? It's an impossible answer. I mean, look, we gave like 8 different great answers.
Right.
That is hard. I mean, it is hard to come down to a percentage, but like I said, I used to think it was less than 60%, but I'm starting to believe that's probably going to be more. But I do agree. I do think he'll start off playing more and with the green dot. But I think eventually, by game 6 or 7, that's going to be taken away, and I think Parsons will have it by then.
I think it take a little time for Micah, but I think he's going to. I agree with you. I think he's going to be the middle linebacker and the guy with the dot on his helmet eventually. Whenever it happens, it's going to happen. I think he'll be the guy.
And
we'll be able to see first episode of Hard Knocks how many snaps.
We will. If he comes in and takes over the team and is a leader, we're going to be good.
What's that?
Steve Lumpton said, "I'm raw as hell. I'm going to take that as
unapologetically."
And
we like that, Cowboy Nation.
That was probably one of the nicest things everybody ever said to me in the chat. So
go back to that last. Go back to
that last question.
Yeah. I want to get that. So we're at the hour mark, and we know you guys have another show to get to.
That's why
we've also got some guys in the chat that are fixing to start another show. This is kind of short notice deal, so we don't want to step on any toes and get off of here.
We got about 20 more minutes if you guys need.
Okay,
good. Yeah.
So let's answer these guys. How are we feeling about? Yeah, here you go. How are we feeling about Tampa Week 1?
Maybe. How do you feel about that?
I mean, a lot better now that we heard that Tom Brady had, that whole issue, MCL, whatever it was.
You feel better or worse because he's...
That's a joke. No, honestly, I'm actually pretty confident about it just because we know the team that we're facing. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers overall didn't have much turnover. They're more or less the same team as they were, which I know a lot of people would feel like pretty scared and intimidated by that. But to me, that means no, we know what you're bringing to the table. I know what to prepare for. We have your playbook. You're the last people to play. So And we are a little bit more of the wild card because of all the changes, especially defensively. Yes, we are the underdogs, but you don't know what we're going to do. And of course, I'm really excited to see. And I'm really excited for the just general like Dak Brady kind of matchup there, just because I think it's going to be like fun on a football level. Like that's just going to be a fun football game to watch.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to this game, I mean, I feel like you, baby. I feel confident this team's going to not be an embarrassment on that field.
Yeah.
I don't know, winning or losing, I think we definitely can win this game.
Oh, yeah.
But, still a long way to go. And, I mean,
given, what is it, Monday or Sunday?
Yeah. Any given Thursday in this situation.
Thursday?
Right? But,
any given Thursday, bro.
But here's the thing I do think is that we didn't really touch it in the offense, but the defense might be, if we can get to 18th ranked or 20th ranked or even, 16th ranked.
Sure.
That's good enough for me. And again, I think if we can get on defense, we get turnovers, we get a top 10, 12 team on turnovers. That's even a bigger stat than whatever we allow in yards.
Huge deal. We got to be aggressive.
That right there, that will be enough for us to get in the playoffs and take it a lot farther, I think, make a run in the playoffs, because the offense has to be top 1, 2, or 3, in my opinion. And there should be no reason why we cannot put up the numbers with the talent we have on this field, whether it's offensive line. And I know not as good as it used to be. It's still top 10. And you look when healthy, you look at our tight ends. We got 2 very viable tight ends. Obviously, we got a fantastic trio of receivers, and we got, of course, Zeke.
They're very capable.
Dak Prescott. I mean, there's no excuse. Even Kellen Moore, we don't know. Well, too late. It's this 3rd year now. All right, so let's get it going. McCarthy, you better go in there and help him if you need to. I know we got Ben McAdoo, who I think is actually going to help some of the. I don't like him, but I think he's going to be pre-planning. They were discussing going to be like meeting with Dan Quinn. Probably talking about opposing offensive quarterbacks, and he's going to be checking that side of things out. And then he's going to also talk, I think, to someone like a Kellen Moore to kind of figure out the starting of games better. The scripted plays. We've been so bad starting games year after year. So Kellen Moore needs some help still. But
it's the mustache for me.
Ben McAdoo, I'm telling you. But I think he's going to be not at the field mainly. He's going to be in his own little office somewhere. Good. Keep him there. So the thing is, I want to see how this offense is going to do against the Buccaneers defense. I think we should. We're not going to be perfect, of course, but I think I want to scare other teams when they see us. They say, "Oh, we got to play that offense." And I think last year we was almost playing it based on coming back, right, and trying to down 15 in the 3rd quarter scores where we were able to come back and either take the lead or win the games. A lot of these games. So again, to me, it's like let's be the aggressor and be up 20.
Sure.
And that's going to help the defense. And that's going to just make our team really it's going to be tough to fuck with us. Every team's going to come in and say, not just about the bullseye and, hey, that's our Super Bowl, the Cowboys. It's like, oh, we're scared of this team, and it's going to be tough. And that's what I want people coming in looking at our team. We haven't instilled that in the Garrett years ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, we keep bringing up Bluff and shouting him out because he's got a great show and he's got great content. But I want to bring up I lost my damn train of thought.
I rambled. I talked about the offense.
It's okay. So one thing, let's go back up a couple comments here. Riker had a great one. I didn't even think about it, man. If Neil wears the dot, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, with Quinn.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Trying to bring up. It was a great point.
You're gonna remember. You know what's gonna happen.
You'll be talking, and then I'm
like an hour later.
Was it the Bucs? Was it the offense? Was it the defense and offense combination? Because that's kind of, I think it's gonna be
McAdoo, bringing him in. Bluff made a great point with so he's technically not coaching staff, so he can have one-on-ones with these guys outside of the allotted time the NFL gives these coaches and stuff with the players. So he can kind of act as a liaison between two and communicate with quarterback room and, like you said, game plan, the OC, DC, OC and all that stuff. So I just wanted to bring that up because he had mentioned that before, and it's a fucking outstanding point. I never saw that side, that angle.
He'll be putting in like the unofficial overtime, basically.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah, he'll be doing the middle.
He's a quarterbacks guy. He's an offensive guy. So yeah.
Yep. And I did hear McCarthy say he's going to be liaisons with Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn for pre-planning of games. That's kind of what the quote was. So to me, exactly what you're saying, he's going to spend more time with these guys than the coaches. But they're giving him the notes so he can, from McCarthy or anybody else, that they need the intermediate guy there at the note passer, and he's going to be able to. Can display what the Cowboy coaching staff wants.
Legally.
Legally, exactly.
Way to go, Joneses. Work that system.
I'm down with it.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
I support that.
Give me Bill Belichick. I'm all right with it. Not cheating, but working the system.
I'm all right with Super Bowls. Okay, let's just leave it at that. I don't need to know how we get there. I just need to get there.
We have these.
The less we know, the better.
Yeah,
right.
Plausible deniability. But
we got boom issues.
Oh, Charlie, right over there. All right, there he goes.
Let me ask y'all this: what's y'all's projection for the end of the season record, regular season? Obviously, we all think we're going to make the playoffs, right? But how do you think we'll do this season as far as record?
I just saw USA Today thing come out today. Another projection. We're 10-7. Is what they're saying. I think 10-7 is the absolute worst.
Yeah,
we should be.
That's
should
the
be
baseline.
floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless we get decimated by injuries and get hit with COVID,
sure.
But, that stuff is important to note. I wish I'm with Michael Irvin. I wish we were at that level. I think that's going to be a much bigger distraction in a way than the Hard Knocks. But it made me feel better today to hear Jerry Jones and speaking about where we're going to be at sooner than later and get that 85-90% vaccination rate, which is fantastic. And then we can continue this season together, united, the way it started off in the OTAs and mini camp. This was a team. I think it continues this way, hopefully, the training camp. But
right,
our record, I believe, in a realistic way, is 11-6. I think is where we can sit at. I could be comfortable with that, and we make the playoffs with that. Now, I think that a lot of things can go up from there. I believe very little things will take me down from there. So I think 12 wins. 13 wins, definitely, makeable. But I got to see it, and the defense is going to be, has to kind of be in the middle of the pack there for me to say we're going to be 12, 13 wins. So 11-6 to me is the most realistic number, but nobody really knows, right? I mean, what do you think, baby? What's your thought?
You see, I do agree with you, but I think that there's still a chance for us to do a little bit better. And I feel it does. I do feel a little bit like Boo Boo the Fool, though, saying that, especially after last year when we all predict. Our prediction last year was 11-5, and I really stood by it. Again,
crazy offseason. You
say
say these barring injuries, right? These are all
exactly.
So, but I honestly think that there's a few teams that are almost being overestimated, and if our offense does what I can't short of a meteor hitting this planet, I don't know what the heck has to happen, but our offense is going to be top 5. I don't know how else to slice it. So as long as our offense does that, in a serious, realistic way.
The offense helps the defense by putting up points as well. Keep that in mind. And that
make that opposing offense one-dimensional.
You make it one-dimensional. You got Randy Gregory pinning his ears back.
Even this, not to be one of those fans that's out here justifying losses, but even this year that we went 6-10, we didn't necessarily get blown out every single game and just absolutely destroyed. And that was with all the problems we had. So, I do kind of like to look on the bright side there, because that to me lets me know we can hang with teams like the Bucs or the Chiefs or all these other teams.
And the Steelers when we missing our whole team. Remember that?
Exactly. So when people count us out of some of these games and kind of write them off as losses, I look at some of the more kind of weird and strange games, the ones that you wouldn't necessarily look at and say, oh, we're going to lose that game. And that's the one that makes me stop and say, oh, because that's kind of how I feel like we lost to the Falcons when, a few years ago.
Yeah, but last year with the Eagles, for example, Ben DiNucci hadn't been thrown in the mix.
I mean, forget it.
It's over. but we still hung in that game. That's the point you're making. It goes to your point that the Eagles and it's NFC least, and I know the jokes, but the thing is that I that is a good point. Six wins. I mean, 9-10 wins should be a foregone conclusion if we stay healthy. And then you got an extra game. Give me 11 wins, 12 wins.
And that's why when I hear 10-7, it's okay, media outlets, continue to push the general, narrative of mediocrity, but this team does not feel mediocre.
Yeah, Steve brought it up earlier. We sound hella good on paper, but there's always those, issues that kind of snag or you don't see coming that
paper champion
knock you down a notch. So yeah, great points there.
Oh, Charlie,
you're muted.
I think you're muted on your side, or.
Yeah, I mean,
say something now.
Where did you have us at? 11. I had us 11-6. Did you have 11-6?
I had 11-6. You had them at 12
12-5.
12-5. I have 11-6.
I had us at 12-4-1.
Even.
You got a tie in there. Throw that tie.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
Cowboys got to be special this year.
Yeah, I got to stand out a little bit.
I forgot about that. You did have that tie.
Hey, if I hit that shit, fuck all y'all.
If you do, then
I
you
will
gotta
never
buy us
forget
a
that.
lottery ticket.
Yo, drinks on me, man.
It doesn't even have to be the game he picked as a tie. As
No,
long as he
no,
hits
hell
that
no.
tie, he's
No,
going to brag about it.
Special. Then you got to
It's
root
gonna
against
suck
the
that
other
week to
guys,
cover though. Who wants to cover a fucking tie? So well, what did we do this time? Well, we could have done more here. This kissing your sister.
I hate it. Not kissing my sister, ties.
Yeah, I hope you don't like it, dude.
Oh, guys, it's a great channel you
No,
guys
this
have.
is good, man. I'm glad y'all came on, man. I really do
appreciate y'all
that.
coming out.
And y'all brought a bunch of people with y'all, and we appreciate that too.
Yeah. I'm glad the MCF
No,
family came
I'm
out.
glad the Cowboys Nation showed the love.
Yeah, we usually go live at like 11:30 at the earliest Eastern time.
That's what I noticed in the chat.
Midnight or later.
Y'all be holding it down
Well,
late night, man.
When I first started paying attention, watching y'all, which was a while back, probably over a year ago,
Wow.
I always assumed y'all was on the West Coast because y'all went so late.
I know. Everyone thinks-
I'm here at 11 o'clock and y'all fucking live. And I'm like, damn, they must be on the West Coast where it's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I found out y'all was on the East Coast. I'm like, oh shit, they're even later than
Way
us.
late.
I'm like, good God, man, that's late. I'm like, I could do it too. I mean, because I stay up late, but that's a pretty good time to do it, I guess.
I mean, the family thing is it kind of worked on itself out because we again, this is rare for us to be on camera now. Our kids are in the background, but the thing is, we try to get everything done. We get the work day done, get the house stuff done, eat, spend time with the family, and then we relax. Watch a movie or something. Then we relax doing this, and we got to talk. We don't talk Cowboy football anymore in the house. We just wait till
that's a bold-faced lie.
There's no
We
casual
try not
conversation.
to, okay? We try not to, but it slips out. And again, we try to intentionally say okay, we're not going to talk football.
Save it for the
10
show,
minutes
babe.
later.
Shit.
Yeah, we do try to do it for the show, and we do slip up sometimes, but we say no. Once we catch ourselves, we're like, no, let's save it for later because we're taking up too much time with that. And as you can tell, guys, it's not about agreeing with each other, kissing ass here.
Yeah,
like I said, I'll listen to y'all. Y'all don't agree all the time.
I just realized
there's no filler in y'all show. There's no filler. It's just y'all just machine gun that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and to go every night and go late like that and have the chat y'all have, because y'all always have
The content's great.
In y'all chat. That's why I told
Appreciate
Eric,
it,
man, I was
guys.
like, dude, that's impressive.
Thank you. And again,
A lot of our fans are West Coast too, so I'm glad we get to bring the West Coast into this because not enough people go late night, and it just happened to work out that way.
I didn't think about that. That is
Yeah.
true.
But
to
that
be
just
able to
worked
do it
itself.
every night,
We just had no choice but to go at 11:30 or 12.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So
Eric,
hey,
you want
Kind
So
of
we
like
want to
again,
midnight?
you got to stay true.
Mm.
It's basically all part of all the different flavors of Cowboy Nation. Basically, you have to stay true to your own things. And the biggest thing, I know we say it a lot, but every single person here, the one thing that brings every Cowboy fan together is we're all sitting here saying, nope, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We want to win a Super Bowl.
We're all
But every
united.
single person from Jerry to Steven to McCarthy, all the way down to us, has different ideas on what we have to do to win the Super Bowl. And all those ideas and things merging together, coming together, that's hopefully what's going to actually get us a Super Bowl.
I hope 6 and beyond.
Yeah,
Or
Eric,
Jimmy Johnston. Either way, I'm fine. We just gotta.
Eric, you want to start going at midnight? Me and you?
Shit. That's my bedtime.
I'm happy we can represent it, but again, that was just like a last. That just kind of we morphed into that. We used to go like at 8, and then they moved to 10, and then moved to 11, and then moved to, now it's at 11 and 12 midnight. But really 11:30 to 12 is basically our start time.
We used to do ours at noon. Then we moved to 7, and we're probably during the season we're probably going to go 8, 9. And I know our show on Saturdays we're going to do is going to be 8 or 9 o'clock. So we moved it later too, and we might even do the Saturday show even later than that. So Bluff and them have time to do their stuff on weekends and get on with this stuff, so they won't miss out.
Snug, there's no limits here, player. There's no limits. At least we haven't come across any.
No, we're good. They're the same kind. They're the same kind of people. They understand. They know what they're doing here.
Yeah, I just read that. I was like, oh hell no, you say what you want. I mean, it's uncensored for a reason.
Sometimes
it's uncensored for us and uncensored for the chat too.
So I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
And it's actually a question that we asked. You're lucky enough when they had the Pro Bowl and stuff like that here in Florida, right? We were able to go out there, and it's funny. asked the players what their favorite ice cream flavor was. And I know it's super random, super funny, but, you know, we're here, we're chilling, we're having some fun. I want to know a little more about you guys. So what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Eric?
Go ahead, Charlie.
Rocky
you
Road.
go first. Rocky Road.
Rocky
Oh,
Road.
yes,
cool.
thank you. Finally.
I eat the shit out of some Rocky Road.
Cookies
I
and cream.
Cookies and cream is off
Cookies
the
and cream.
chain.
Hey, cookie cream
Look.
up there, mint chocolate chip. I like that too.
I like me some butter crunch. I like me some butter pecan.
Ooh, butter pecan,
Anything with
that's a good one.
Butterfinger or
That's good.
Snickers or something like
Is
that.
there a wrong answer for this?
Yeah, right.
Yes, there is. Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Vanilla? Yeah, see, I don't like vanilla.
Vanilla's the only wrong answer.
Yeah,
Hey,
I, don't
root beer
eat, I
float.
can't eat just plain vanilla.
Yeah, you can.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
root
I
beer
can't
on
eat
it.
plain vanilla is back in the day, I'm sure they still do it, but not as much as they did when I was a kid. Up here in East Texas, which is not just Texas did it, everybody did it, is making their own homemade ice cream in one of the drums, and you turn it around with the salt ice and rock ice and stuff, the rock salt. That vanilla ice cream was good. It was like different than Bluebell.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
regular,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the only
Vanilla,
thing time
vanilla.
I've ever ate vanilla ice cream and liked it. But yeah,
I
that's
hear
really
you.
different.
I like vanilla. It's okay, but yeah, it's not cookies and cream or cookie
Road.
dough. You know, that's a
Bluebell
good,
bride cake. Okay, you're getting a little fancy for me.
good
That's
question, baby.
Bluebell
There you go.
bride
There you
cake.
go. You see?
What
Come
are
on.
you doing, Victor?
Exactly. You
I'm
know,
going to talk
man.
shit to you in the chat. I ain't going to say what I want to say to you on here.
I see our fans, your fans are going to get along very well.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
appreciate
no, I was
everybody
telling Eric
from
that when I
MCF
was
coming
on
over.
y'all's chat all the time, and I told Eric, I said, dude, they're a lot like, and I told him, we don't have to worry about the uncensored part of it.
Yeah, no.
It kind of flows just like we do. Yeah, no, I love.
He
going
listed
on-
out all the curse words y'all had said in the past 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, we'll probably get along great.
Oh man,
We have so many more to go.
I know. I really hope this season brings a few more happy curse words
Yeah,
than
yeah.
angry curse words.
Yes, that's
Well,
the
yeah,
goal.
see, I mean, like my fucks are said at all times. When
It's like
I'm
saying
happy-
hello.
Yeah, when
Noun,
I'm happy, I
verb,
say, hey, fuck.
adjective, adverb. You can use
Yeah,
fuck.
I use it for all things. I mean, people always think
Jared.
like on internet because they see me type it out, they automatically think I'm mad. Because most people, when they use the word "fuck" as much as I do, they're pissed. But I try to tell people, no, I use it when I'm happy. I use it when I'm sad. I use it when I'm mad. I just use it. It's just
a tone.
natural.
Yeah.
It's just a natural. It just
Exactly,
flows off
but
my
it-
tongue.
I mean, it works, but it works in every context. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not a single place that you can't put it where it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm so fucking happy right now. You know? Or fuck you, motherfucker. You know, I mean, that's two different types of things, and I can use it, and it sounds great with both.
Yeah.
You know,
Tapping it out sounds the same.
Yeah.
exactly. Well, we'll let y'all get out of here, man. I
Yeah.
don't want to keep y'all too long on y'all's stuff. Y'all got to go. What time y'all going on? It's 8:30 right now almost.
Yeah, probably 11:45 Eastern
Oh, shit.
time.
All right.
Before midnight.
Well, I'll be on there
Midnight
with y'all
Eastern
tonight.
time.
I'll come on y'all's chat tonight.
Awesome.
I'll-
Yeah, we'll
I'll
shout
still
you out
be up.
there. We'll
Yes.
see you.
And
And
thank you again to
absolutely.
both you guys for having us on again. You know, mainly because of our schedules, it's pretty. We're really glad that we were able to
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looked
we
like
enjoyed
last
the
hang
hell
minute.
out with you guys here.
Yeah,
Very
let
last
people know. It
minute.
looked like last minute because we just announced it yesterday, but it's been going on for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
We've
just
been
trying to
get
get
with each other
somehow.
and trying to figure out a good time and a good day and everything. So
yeah,
we're kinda-
with the McCarthy thing, and I got home early from work. It worked out that we can.
Feels like an air traffic controller.
Yeah, we knew kind of this was going to be the day it was going to be able to be the best for this. So,
Be
and again, we
lunatics
love
like
it. We just don't have the time to do it most of the
Yeah,
time. So
yeah.
yeah.
truly,
Yeah,
thank you for having us on, guys. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
no, thank you for coming on. Like I said, y'all brought a lot. You probably bought us a couple subs, and y'all brought us a lot of people in the chat, and we
Good.
love that.
Awesome, man. That's
And
awesome.
the
And,
lunatic, the F word, the most versatile word in the dictionary. We agree
I
with you.
forgot
man.
it, lunatic.
If you're not sub to us, so come chat with us.
Yeah,
You're
shout
here
out to
live.
all our regulars, too. We appreciate the hell out of
We'll
y'all.
show you how versatile we are.
with that fuck word, right? Yeah, man. Same here, guys. You guys in the chat. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, so my Cowboys family, just check us out there. Sub it
everything
up.
got
You
My
can't
Cowboys
get to
family.
watch the replay. We try to keep it. Look, we go 30 minutes or an hour. We try to say that, and we go 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's
Almost every
tough.
night. We just can't help it. So
Yeah.
you're tired, you can't sleep. You know what
It's
to
like
do.
we've been on for an hour and a half. It doesn't seem like that long.
Exactly.
Yeah, it flies
So-
by.
Yeah, because I told Eric, I said, I think we're only going to probably go an hour with them. And then how an hour came by, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a minute. It's an hour and 1 minute. I'm like, damn.
Way too
We
fast,
got-
right?
We didn't even get to half the things we are going to talk about.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
still
I know.
the
That's
offense.
what
the
happens.
things are
is
offense.
You get on
Coaches.
You get on that talk and you keep talking and keep talking. And the next thing you know, you're on one subject for 45 minutes. You're like, shit, we still got 10 subjects left.
Exactly.
Those are-
Great discussions, guys. I love it.
Yes.
We love it.
No, again,
Appreciate you guys. And
never forget the number one thing.
number one,
No, yeah, like I said,
Go Cowboys! You know what it is.
At some point we'll do it again. You know, with the season coming up, it's going to be hard, but we'll get together at some point later on down the line and do it again because it's too much fun not to do it at least one more time.
I agree, 100%.
Absolutely.
All right, but tell everybody where you can. Did he tell everybody where you can find you at YouTube?
Yeah,
All
at my Cowboys family on Twitter.
All social media, so Twitter,
It's all
YouTube,
my Cowboys family.
Facebook, Instagram, all of it.
Yeah, we
Y'all like
mainly do the YouTube thing, so that's what you want to do out there.
Y'all like us, Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. We made it simple. You don't
Across
have to
the
find
board.
anything else.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hear people say MCF, then you know that's still us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we know exactly who that is.
My Cowboys family. Yep. Appreciate
All right,
you
man.
guys.
Gotcha, man.
I'll
Appreciate
catch
y'all.
y'all here in an hour and a half, 2 hours when y'all go on.
No, about 2 hours. Or a little
All right,
more.
2.5 hours. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Signing
it,
off.
man.
Appreciate y'all, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Peace.
Later.